Hi crafters, Amy here, and today I have a funny, punny, snarky birthday card to share with you. So let's jump right in. And I have this fabulous stamp set from Concord and Ninth. I have some new to me mini ink pads from the Spa collection at Catherine Pooler. It's the Beach Retreat. I have an A2 size card base of 110-pound cardstock. And here's a photo of the card that I'm going to make for you today. Comes together super quickly, full of snark and punny goodness, so I'll show you how I made it. Now, Christina Werner did a video with the same stamp set, very similar sort of technique. So I will link her video to give her credit in the video description box below. So if you want to check out her video, I definitely recommend that. I will link that below. But basically she used these stamps and a myriad of different mini ink pads and was able to lay down a lot of really cool color onto these kind of large stamps. So I'm just going to do similar to what she did. You just kind of lay down ink in various different spots and then just kind of let it blend together in its pretty colorful goodness here. And then that's going to kind of fill up the space. Now I find myself reaching for these stamps often. I love the whimsy kind of asymmetrical shape, that they're kind of jagged edges. They look almost watercolored and whimsy when they're stamped in. So these are definitely a fun addition to your craft room, and I will link those in the video description box as well with all the other products that I used. If you expand the video description box and scroll down, you'll find the details. So I'm just kind of filling in, trying to get spots where there's white space, but you can always come over with a lighter color over top of it, and then it'll kind of help blend it together. So the way that I made this a little bit different on my card is I know in the back of my mind that I want this just to be a little bit of a backdrop for a critter. So I have my critter book here. This is my storage solution. I have one for my critters and one for my sentiments, but these are stamped and colored and die cut or fussy cut out critters, and I'm just kind of flipping through. These are baseball pocket protector sheets, and I'm just kind of looking through my critters here to figure out who I want to lay in front of this really pretty patchwork looking heart. So just kind of going through my options here. Not really sure what type of card I want to make. I just know that I want to put some sort of critter in front of this really pretty heart that I stamped out. So I'm wondering here, this is Journals for Life. Fun, just stamped black and white. I'm thinking, it doesn't quite pop exactly the way I picture it. And then I come across this hilarious stamp set from Tailored Expressions. And I bust it back out because I know I want the coordinating sentiments nice and snarky. It's a shiitake mushroom. And I'm using the coordinating sentiments from this rubber stamp set just to kind of use in tandem with the little stamped out critter. So I'm going to get my little mini Misty out here and load up this card base in here. Now, if you're familiar with rubber stamps, they aren't going to necessarily show on the back side exactly where the sentiment is, so they can be a little bit tricky, and I don't want to lose all the work that I put into it. So I'm going to kind of lay them out initially where I think they need to go, but because they're not clear and I can't see through it, I do want to kind of go an extra step and make sure that I don't mess up my card and ruin the work that I just did. So I'm doing my best to line it up, and I pick it up with the Misty door, and then I remember, oh yeah, I need to take the pad out because it's thick. It's a rubber stamp, not a clear stamp. So you can see I don't work with rubber all that often, but here's my solution to figure out exactly where it's stamping. I just took the acetate from the stamp packaging, and I'm holding that down with a magnet, and I'm stamping temporarily on that because then I can see, oh yeah, those two sentiments are way too far apart. So I use my stamp chamois and wipe it up, and then, launch the other sentiment right off the door. And then try it again. I'm just drying off the stamp, pulling it down a little bit closer to the heart in the composition just because I felt like it was kind of flying out in the middle of nowhere on the card. And so I get that one lined up, and again wipe that off, and then I'll stamp that one first, and then I'll bring in the second sentiment just so I can nestle it in a little bit closer. So I kind of get that up closer to where it's stamped, remove the first stamp, and then pick that one up with the Misty door and then stamp that. So again, I have the acetate out here just to make sure it's nice and straight. I apologize. And then it's finally where I want it to be, so I will ultimately remove that acetate and then stamp it. So this is one way to deal with rubber stamps if you're not exactly sure where you're stamping, so you're not flying blind. But I have a little piece of foam tape here. This is from scrapbook.com. Extremely sticky foam tape, but that's going to pop up this little mushroom and give it a little bit of dimension. So I'm just going to put that down kind of off center on the bottom of that heart, and then I have the coordinating stamp, and then I want to give it a little something extra, so I grab this corner chomper and then round off a couple of the edges just to give it a little bit more interest. Kind of goes with the rounded edges of the top of the mushroom and the heart. So clean and simple, pretty low profile. It's got a little bit of dimension from that mushroom, but otherwise came together super quick and nice and flat. So super funny, punny, snarky birthday card. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the thumbs up, and I'll check you next time. Bye.